This video is talking about the Anim Utility tool that I talked about in the last video. If you haven't seen that video, go back and watch it and come back here. I'll wait. All right, you watched it? Fantastic. Welcome back. Let's get into it. Today we're actually talking about the script itself. So let's open up the GUI and let's get talking about it real fast of what it can do, and then we're going to dive into the code real fast. So once we're in our composition here, just open up the script with Workspace, Scripts, Fusion Pixel Studio, Anim Utility, and open Anim Utility GUI or GUI. All right, we have it open now. Make sure you have Node selected when you do, and we can see it says the title up here, which we can actually click, and that brings you to my website. You can find many things on there, like my portfolio of the things I've worked on, or also motion graphics that I've made, or more stuff you can buy if you want to. Right below that, we can go ahead and type in the name of the control we want to animate, and it's going to have to be the control ID. So let's look at size right here. We can type in size, and we can even do this lowercase size, and we can just press on size there, and then we can name this whatever we want. If it wants to be a name node, like we're going to use this in a lower third or something, we can name it name, and if we don't like size, we can name it scale. And something to bear in mind, if you try to press space or a few other characters like slashes or dashes, it'll just replace it with underscores, because Fusion does not like modifiers with certain characters in the name, so it'll just replace that so there's no issues later on. We can go ahead and paste that, and we can actually see right here it says success. It says it for about 5 seconds, and then it just goes away. It just lets you know that, hey, it did work. No need to worry about it. You're good to go. Right next to the search bar, we actually have this interesting looking button here. It reloads the controls list. So either if you have something selected and you don't want to have it selected anymore, or you're changing nodes, you can press this button. It clears your 2 text bars, and it even reloads the controls list and unselects what you had selected. This allows you to do something really special. So if you just type in a unique name without having any controls selected, like let's just do text1, we'll do follower, because we're going to talk about followers here real fast. We can just paste it, and it even tells you, hey, you didn't have anything selected, but it's still pasted. Please connect to this. Great. Let's right click and add a follower to our text. If you don't know what that is, check out some other videos. I'll have a video later on talking about it, but I'll just link to a few up in the iCard, wherever that is. So we have a follower. We can go over to shading, for example, and let's just animate the opacity. We can right click and connect it to, look for whatever you just made, text1 follower, and look for whatever it told you to connect to. The connect to me and connection. And bam. But that's not all for this GUI. We also have a couple buttons down here. This one takes you to the YouTube channel. It will also take you to a YouTube tutorial in the near future. And this button right here just opens up my Ko-fi page. It's where you can either donate or buy a few other things, maybe. We're done talking about this. I'll just demonstrate really fast. You can reload this and it will bring in another node. And it'll also bring in that node's controls. You can obviously select it, animate it, do all that kind of fun stuff. We're done talking about this. Get it out of here. We're going to only be talking about the stuff that I feel like I either didn't mention or I want to highlight how I did it. So we're just going to probably quickly go through this because it's not the most interesting thing for everybody to look at. Right off the bat, we actually get the last position that you had it closed at. So when you close it, it actually saves its position, and then it takes that position and puts it into the new position for whenever it's reopened. Can I say position a few more times? Probably. Position, position, position. There you go. In the last video, I actually showed you how to install it, which was done by just a single button at the top of the window whenever you first bring it into Fusion. And the way that it actually installs it is it gets its current location in your files. So it checks to see if it's in the scripts folders. If it's not, it tells you, hey, it's not there. Do you want to install it? You say, yes, I want to install it. And then it takes that information of where it is. It then takes where it needs to go, checks to see if that exists, and then it creates the root folder if it doesn't. And then if it does, it'll just copy and paste, or actually it'll cut and paste your folder that you were just in, the Anim Utility folder in the zip file. It'll put that into the correct place in the scripts folder. So for those of you who don't know, Fusion works in code. Every single node, every single modifier, every single thing that you have in Fusion is just Lua code. It's just a Lua scripting code. And that is what we have right here. This really long chunk of text is the 4 modifiers that are pasted into the composition whenever you want to add the Anim Utility to a point value, which is, the center point. It has the 2 different boxes for text. It's just like that. You can see all of this code is actually creating what the main window looks like. We're setting the size and position right up here with the default stuff I have at the top. And then we're also setting the maximum and minimum sizes for every single block so that you can't resize the window. Now that search feature, that's pretty interesting. How does it work? Well, first, it fills the tree with all the stuff from your node, all the controls from your node, and then it organizes it into the tree. It organizes it into a table, and then it creates a search key, which essentially turns everything into strings in a table and also turns them lowercase. And then whenever you type into the search query, it will then activate this function, which stops anything from happening in your tree, checks to see if your search query matches any part of anything in the search key, and then it will unhide those matches. And when you paste it, it does something pretty weird too. It first will check to see if it is a number, which is a slider or a screw or like a label or a few other things. If it is, then it will paste the modifiers with the unique name. It will then get the information of the node control, and then connect it to the names that I have set for the modifiers so that it will know what to connect to your node control to. It then connects the node control, and then it says it's done. It says success, and then sets it back to default. More stuff is to come for this tool in the future. I plan on talking about how to use it in advanced compositions, using it in like 3D environments, exporting all that stuff to be for the edit page, how to use it for simple things, a bunch of different ways of using it. And I'm also going to go over the modifiers themselves in a video, just talking about how they work, what's the math behind them, and how you can kind of make your own if you want to. And of course, we'll be going over this stuff over a long period of time. But that's just about it. Happy animating.